Before you take another supplement, before you do another rep, I need to tell you something that will completely change everything you thought you knew about building muscle after 50. What if I told you that the protein shake you're drinking, the magnesium you're swallowing, and those 5 a.m. gym sessions are only giving you 30% of the results you should be getting? The other 70%? It's being stolen from you every single night while you sleep. And the worst part? You're the one doing the stealing. I'm a physician with over 25 years specializing in age-related muscle loss, and I've watched thousands of people sabotage their own strength without even knowing it. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop that theft and unlock your body's hidden muscle-building potential. But first, I need to know something. Have you ever felt like you're doing everything right, eating clean, exercising regularly, taking your supplements, but your body just isn't responding anymore? If that's you, type yes in the comments right now. Because what I'm about to share will explain exactly why that's happening. The night shift your body never told you about. Here's what nobody tells you about building muscle after 50. Your daytime efforts are just the warm-up. The real construction happens between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., during a biological process so powerful that missing it is like showing up to build a house but forgetting to bring the construction crew. Let me paint you a picture of what's happening inside your body right now. Every single day, your muscles accumulate microscopic damage. Not bad damage, necessary damage. When you walk, garden, play with your grandchildren, or lift those grocery bags, you're creating tiny tears in your muscle fibers. This is normal. This is good. This is the signal your body needs. But here's the catch. That signal means nothing if your body can't respond to it at night. Think of your muscles like a road full of potholes. During the day, you're driving over that road, identifying every crack and hole. But the actual repair crew? They only work the night shift. They only show up when you're asleep, when your body releases a flood of repair hormones, when your cells switch from breakdown mode to build mode. And here's the problem that's affecting millions of people over 50. That night crew is showing up, but they're finding the gates locked. The materials are missing. The foreman never got the message. So they sit there, waiting, and by morning, they've clocked out without fixing a thing. You wake up still sore. Still weak. Wondering why your body isn't bouncing back like it used to. The truth? It's not your age. It's your nighttime strategy. Now, before we go deeper, I want you to think about something. How many hours did you sleep last night? And more importantly, how did you feel when you woke up? Refreshed and strong? Or stiff and exhausted? Drop a number in the comments, just the hours you slept. Because that number is about to become very important. The magnesium lie you've been sold. For years, the health industry has pushed one mineral as the ultimate solution for nighttime muscle recovery: magnesium. You've heard it everywhere. Take magnesium before bed for muscle growth. Magnesium prevents cramps and builds strength. And look, magnesium isn't bad. It does help with muscle relaxation and sleep quality. But here's what they're not telling you. Magnesium is like having a security guard at the construction site. Useful? Sure. But if you don't have actual builders showing up with materials, that security guard is just standing watch over an empty lot. The real muscle building happens through two completely different vitamins that work in a way magnesium never could. These two vitamins don't just relax your muscles. They actively command them to rebuild, repair, and grow stronger while you sleep. I'm going to reveal both of them to you today, along with the exact timing and dosage that makes them work. But first, we need to talk about the enemies. Because even if you take the right vitamins, there are 3 common supplements that millions of people take every evening that are quietly, invisibly destroying their nighttime muscle growth. The last one is so widespread, I'd bet money you've taken it in the past week. Maybe even today. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you the 2 nighttime heroes first, the vitamins that build muscle while you sleep. Then I'm going to expose the 3 villains that you need to banish from your evening routine immediately. Ready? Let's start with the first hero. The sunshine vitamin that works in the dark. The first vitamin you absolutely must take at night is one that most people associate with daytime, vitamin D3. Now, I know what you're thinking. Doctor, vitamin D comes from sunshine. Why would I take it at night? Excellent question. And the answer is going to blow your mind. Yes, vitamin D3 is produced in your skin when you're exposed to sunlight. But when you take it as a supplement with your evening meal, it triggers a completely different biological pathway, one that only activates during sleep. Let me explain how this works, because understanding this will change everything. Your muscle cells are covered in tiny receptors called VDRs, vitamin D receptors. Think of them as locked doors on the surface of each muscle fiber. During the day, these doors stay closed. But when you take vitamin D3 in the evening, something remarkable happens. As you drift into sleep, your body begins its nightly repair cycle. Growth hormone starts flooding your system. Your cells shift into rebuild mode. And those locked doors on your muscles? They swing wide open. This is when vitamin D3 becomes the master key. With those VDR doors open, your muscles can now absorb crucial minerals, calcium and phosphorus, from the food you ate during the day. But here's what's critical. These minerals aren't just for your bones. They're the electrical conductors that allow your muscle fibers to contract, fire, and ultimately grow stronger. Without vitamin D3 opening those doors at night, those minerals just float past your muscles, unused. It's like having a delivery truck full of building supplies drive past the construction site because nobody unlocked the gate. But the magic doesn't stop there. Vitamin D3 at night sends a direct signal to your endocrine system, your hormone control center, to optimize the production of testosterone while you sleep. And before anyone tunes out thinking this is just for men, stop. Testosterone is crucial for both men and women when it comes to building muscle tissue. It's the foreman on the construction site, telling your body to take the protein you've eaten and use it to build new, strong muscle overnight. Without enough vitamin D3, this entire process is handicapped. You're eating the protein. You're doing the exercises. But your body never gets the command to build. Now let me share something that will make this even more real for you. There's a landmark study from Harvard University that tracked hundreds of seniors with low vitamin D levels for 8 months. They split them into 2 groups. The first group took a daily vitamin D3 supplement. The second group took nothing. After 8 months, the vitamin D3 group had gained an average of 2.8 pounds of lean muscle mass. The other group? A mere 0.4 pounds. Think about that difference. Same people, same age. But one simple vitamin created a 7-fold increase in muscle growth. This isn't new science, by the way. Ancient civilizations knew this intuitively. During the long, dark Scandinavian winters, Viking warriors consumed massive amounts of cod liver oil, one of nature's richest sources of vitamin D, to maintain their legendary strength when there was no sunlight for months. They understood what we're only now proving in laboratories. So how do you harness this power starting tonight? The protocol is simple. Take 2,000 to 4,000 international units, IU, of vitamin D3 with your evening meal. And this is critical. It must be taken with a meal that contains healthy fats. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it needs fat to be absorbed properly. Let me give you a practical example of what this looks like on your dinner plate. Imagine a 4-ounce piece of wild-caught salmon, grilled with herbs and a squeeze of lemon. That single piece of fish contains more vitamin D than most people get in an entire week. Pair it with mushrooms, roasted with rosemary and olive oil until their edges are golden and crispy, because mushrooms are one of the few plant sources of vitamin D. Add a side of mashed sweet potatoes with a generous pat of grass-fed butter for maximum vitamin absorption. And if you want to take it one step further, a glass of fortified milk before bed completes the picture. This isn't just a meal. It's a prescription for overnight strength. Now, if you're finding this valuable so far, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what I'm about to share next about the second nighttime vitamin is even more powerful, and I don't want you to miss the upcoming videos where I break down the exact meal plans and timing strategies that maximize these effects. The master mineral that commands your muscles to grow. If vitamin D3 is the key that unlocks the door for muscle repair, then the second vitamin, which is actually a mineral, is the master foreman who directs the entire construction crew all night long. I'm talking about zinc. Taking vitamin D3 alone is a fantastic first step. But without adequate zinc, you're still leaving at least 60% of your muscle building potential on the table. And here's why this matters so much. During the deepest phases of your sleep, what scientists call slow-wave sleep, your body releases its most potent muscle-building substance, human growth hormone. This is the miracle worker of nighttime recovery. It's what tells your body to take all that protein you ate and transform it into actual muscle tissue. But here's what most people don't know, and what even many doctors overlook. Growth hormone is completely dependent on zinc to function properly. Let me explain this in a way that makes it crystal clear. Zinc is what we call a cofactor for over 300 different enzymes in your body. Think of enzymes as tiny molecular machines that perform specific jobs. Many of these enzymes are directly responsible for rebuilding muscle tissue while you sleep. They're the workers on the construction site, the ones actually laying the bricks, welding the joints, and reinforcing the structure. When your zinc levels are optimal, these enzymes stay active for the full 6 to 8 hours of quality sleep, tirelessly repairing damaged fibers and building new tissue. But when you're deficient in zinc, and this is where it gets scary, this entire repair process can slow down by up to 60%. Your body's repair crew essentially clocks out early, leaving the job half-finished. What makes this truly shocking is that zinc deficiency is a silent epidemic among people over 50, affecting more than 40% of the population worldwide. It's one of the most common nutritional deficiencies I see in my practice, yet it's rarely tested for in routine checkups. And the consequences are devastating. Low zinc levels directly slow down the transport of amino acids, the building blocks of protein, into your muscle cells during sleep. So you can eat a perfect protein-rich diet, but if you're low on zinc, those amino acids can't get to where they need to go. They're like packages stuck at the post office with no one to deliver them. This is why so many people tell me, "Doctor, I eat plenty of chicken and fish. I'm drinking protein shakes. But I just keep getting weaker." They're not eating wrong. They're missing the delivery system. The symptoms of zinc deficiency are often mistaken for just getting older. You wake up feeling sore and stiff. You recover slowly after simple activities like gardening or playing with your grandchildren. You have this general feeling that your body isn't bouncing back like it used to. But here's the truth. This isn't just aging. This is a critical mineral deficiency that can be fixed. The science on this is incredibly clear, and I want to share a study with you that proves just how powerful zinc really is. Researchers at the University of Michigan took a group of zinc-deficient seniors and tracked them for 12 weeks. The participants who took just 20 milligrams of zinc daily saw a 34% increase in their muscle protein synthesis. Let me say that again. Their bodies became over a third more efficient at turning the protein they ate into actual muscle. They also reported 40% faster recovery from exercise. But here's what really blew the researchers away. When they looked at what was happening at the cellular level, they discovered that zinc literally turns on the genetic switches inside your cells that command your muscles to grow stronger and repair faster. It's not just helping the process. It's activating it. This knowledge isn't new, by the way. Over 4,000 years ago, ancient Egyptian physicians used zinc-rich remedies to heal the wounds of their warriors and restore their fighting strength. They knew its power to rebuild tissue, even if they didn't understand the molecular mechanisms. So how do you harness this ancient wisdom for yourself? The protocol is simple and precise. Take 15 to 30 milligrams of zinc with a full glass of water about 2 hours before you go to bed. The timing is crucial. You want to take it after dinner, not with dinner, because zinc can compete with other minerals like calcium and iron for absorption. By taking it 2 hours before bed, you ensure it doesn't interfere with your evening meal, and that its levels peak in your system right when your body releases growth hormone during deep sleep. Now, if this information about zinc deficiency affecting 40% of seniors is shocking to you, I want you to do something. Comment the word zinc below. Not for me, for the algorithm. Because this information needs to reach more people. Your comment helps this video get shown to others who desperately need to hear this message. The healthy supplement destroying your sleep. Now that we've established the two nighttime heroes, vitamin D3 and zinc, it's time to talk about the villains. These are the supplements that millions of people take with the best intentions, believing they're helping their health, when in reality they're actively sabotaging their muscle-building efforts every single night. And the number one offender might shock you. It's B-complex vitamins. I can already hear the confusion. Doctor, what are you talking about? B vitamins are essential. They give me energy. They're good for my nerves. My doctor told me to take them. And you're absolutely right. B vitamins are essential. They are important for energy, nerve health, and metabolism. But when it comes to building muscle, timing is everything. And taking B-complex in the evening is one of the worst mistakes you can make. Let me explain why. B vitamins, particularly B6, B12, niacin, and riboflavin, are stimulants. They're specifically designed to rev up your nervous system. They speed up your metabolism, slightly increase your heart rate, and boost mental alertness. This is wonderful in the morning. Taking a B-complex with breakfast can help fuel your day, give you mental clarity, and provide the energy you need to stay active. But at night, this exact same effect becomes a disaster for muscle growth. Remember what I told you earlier, muscles are not built in the gym. They're not built at the dinner table while you're eating protein. They're built almost exclusively during deep, restorative sleep. There's a specific phase of sleep called slow-wave sleep. This is when your body releases its peak amounts of growth hormone, repairs damaged muscle fibers, and synthesizes new lean tissue. It's the construction zone. It's when the real work happens. But if your nervous system is buzzing from a late dose of B vitamins, you will struggle to enter and remain in this critical deep sleep phase. Your body might be lying still in bed, but your brain isn't resting. The hormonal signals for muscle growth are never fully sent. A comprehensive study published in the journal Sleep Medicine in 2019 confirmed this. Researchers tracked older adults who took B vitamins in the evening and found they had significantly reduced melatonin production, delayed sleep onset, and far fewer minutes spent in those precious deep sleep cycles. But it gets worse. Evening B vitamin supplementation can cause a spike in cortisol, your body's primary stress hormone. And cortisol is the mortal enemy of muscle. While growth hormone builds tissue, cortisol breaks it down. Elevated cortisol at night not only keeps you awake and anxious, it actively signals your body to break down muscle tissue for energy. For anyone already battling age-related muscle loss, this is catastrophic. Let me tell you about a patient of mine named Brenda. She was 67 years old and completely frustrated. She was exercising faithfully 3 times a week, drinking protein shakes, and doing everything she thought was right. But she kept losing strength month after month. After carefully reviewing her entire routine, we found the culprit. She was taking her B-complex supplement right after dinner every night. We made only one change. We moved that same supplement to her breakfast. The results were astonishing. Within 1 week, she reported sleeping more deeply than she had in years. Within 3 weeks, she had regained 2 pounds of lean muscle. She told me she felt stronger and more stable on her feet. The lesson is powerful. If you want your body to build, you must first let it rest. So here's your action step. If you take B-complex vitamins, take them in the morning with breakfast. Let them fuel your day. Then allow your nights to be for deep, uninterrupted repair. The antioxidant paradox. The second supplement you need to avoid at night is one that will likely surprise you even more, because it's universally praised as a miracle nutrient, vitamin C. We take it to boost immunity, to heal our skin, to fight off colds. Many people take a dose in the evening with dinner, believing its healing properties will work magic overnight. And while vitamin C is undeniably important for overall health, taking it close to bedtime can quietly and effectively shut down your body's natural muscle repair cycle. The reason lies in the very thing that makes vitamin C famous: its power as an antioxidant. Now, that sounds like a universally good thing, right? Antioxidants fight free radicals. They protect cells. They prevent aging. All true. But here's the paradox. At night, your muscles actually need a small amount of controlled oxidative stress to trigger the recovery process. Let me explain what I mean. During the day, when you're active, your muscles generate mild oxidative stress. This isn't damage, it's a signal. It's like a flare going up that tells your body, hey, we've got some wear and tear over here. Time to release growth hormone, activate repair pathways, and rebuild these fibers stronger than before. This signal is crucial. It's what initiates the entire nighttime repair cascade. But when you flood your system with a large dose of a powerful antioxidant like vitamin C right before bed, you essentially extinguish that signal flare before the repair crew can even see it. You blunt the message. This has been demonstrated in multiple studies on older adults, where high antioxidant intake before bed was found to reduce the body's ability to activate something called mTOR signaling. The mTOR pathway is the master switch that tells your muscles to absorb amino acids and grow. In simple terms, by taking vitamin C at night, your muscles don't get the message to repair themselves, even if you've consumed plenty of protein. The building blocks are there, but the instructions to start building are silenced. And there's another problem. Similar to B vitamins, vitamin C is mildly stimulating to the nervous system. It plays a role in producing norepinephrine, a brain chemical that promotes alertness and focus. While it's not as potent as caffeine, for someone who's already a light sleeper, it can be just enough to cause tossing and turning, preventing you from reaching those deep, restorative phases of sleep. I remember a patient named Robert, a 79-year-old retired teacher. He was dedicated to his health, lifting light weights, drinking bone broth every day. Yet he felt himself growing weaker each week. He couldn't understand it. After a close look at his routine, we found the culprit. He was taking 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C every night with his dinner broth, convinced it was enhancing the healing process. We immediately shifted his vitamin C dose to the morning with breakfast. The change was remarkable. His sleep improved almost overnight. The constant soreness in his muscles began to fade. Within a month, he had regained noticeable strength in his arms and legs, strength he thought was gone forever. The lesson: vitamin C is a valuable ally in your health journey, but it must be used at the right time. Let it protect you during the day. But at night, let your body use its own natural, intelligent repair cycle the way it was designed, without interference. The master saboteur hiding in plain sight. If you found the warnings about B-complex and vitamin C surprising, prepare yourself. Because this third supplement you must never take in the evening is by far the most pervasive and deceptive saboteur of nighttime muscle recovery. I'm talking about caffeine. Now, when I say caffeine, most people immediately think of their morning coffee or tea, and they assume that as long as they stop drinking it by noon, they're in the clear. But the truth is, caffeine is a master of disguise. It secretly hides in a vast array of products that many people consume in the afternoon and evening without a second thought. It's found in pre-workout powders, fat burner supplements, energy-boosting multivitamins, dark chocolate, certain pain relievers, and even some herbal teas. While a little caffeine early in the day can have benefits for focus and circulation, consuming it any time in the evening is one of the quickest ways to completely derail your muscle recovery. The damage is twofold and severe. First, caffeine directly stimulates your adrenal glands, causing a surge in cortisol. As we've discussed, cortisol is the mortal enemy of muscle growth. An elevation in cortisol at night directly interferes with muscle protein synthesis, the fundamental process your body uses to turn dietary protein into new muscle fibers. It puts your body in a state of breakdown rather than building. But the second effect is even worse. Caffeine wages a direct war on sleep itself. It works by blocking adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine is the chemical that gradually builds up throughout the day, creating sleep pressure and telling your body it's time to rest. Caffeine acts like a shield, blocking this signal. Without proper adenosine signaling, you struggle to fall asleep. And when you finally do drift off, your deep sleep cycles are fragmented and cut short. For someone over 50, this is a physiological catastrophe. That deep sleep window is the only time when growth hormone release peaks and true muscle repair can actually happen. By consuming caffeine in the evening, you're effectively closing the repair shop for business right when the crew is scheduled to work. The scientific evidence is damning. A 2020 study published in the journal Nutritional Neuroscience followed 160 older adults for 10 weeks. The results were shocking. Participants who consumed caffeine within 6 hours of bedtime lost a staggering 28% more lean muscle mass compared to those who were caffeine-free in the evenings, even when both groups were eating the exact same amount of protein. The researchers concluded that the disrupted sleep caused by caffeine led to lower growth hormone release, which directly translated into weaker muscles. Let me tell you about Susan, an 81-year-old retired nurse. She was incredibly diligent, exercising 3 times a week, drinking collagen broth every evening. But she saw absolutely no gains in strength. After reviewing her whole routine, we discovered she was taking a nighttime fat burner supplement that contained 150 milligrams of hidden caffeine. Once she stopped that one pill, her sleep improved dramatically. Within a single month, her hand grip strength test improved by an incredible 19%. So here's the hard truth. Caffeine isn't evil, but its timing is everything. If you want your protein to actually rebuild your body, you must enforce a strict no caffeine rule after lunch. And I don't just mean coffee. Check your supplements. Read the labels on your protein powders, your multivitamins, your sleep support formulas. Caffeine hides everywhere. Now, before we move forward, I want to pause for a moment. If you're finding this information valuable, if you're learning things about your body that nobody ever taught you, hit that subscribe button right now. Because in my next video, I'm going to reveal the exact evening meal plan that combines all of this science into one simple, delicious strategy you can start using tonight. The nighttime protocol that changes everything. You now know the 2 vitamins that build muscle while you sleep, vitamin D3 and zinc. And you know the 3 supplements that sabotage your nighttime recovery, B-complex, vitamin C, and caffeine. But knowing isn't enough. You need a system, a protocol. Something simple and sustainable that you can actually follow every single day. So let me give you exactly that. Here's your complete nighttime muscle building protocol, step by step. Step 1. The evening meal, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Your dinner should be consumed 3 to 4 hours before bed. This timing is critical because it allows your body to complete the heavy work of digestion before you enter deep sleep. When your digestive system is still working hard, it competes with the repair processes we want to activate. Your meal should contain 4 to 6 ounces of high-quality protein, wild-caught salmon, grass-fed beef, or pasture-raised chicken, a serving of vitamin D-rich foods, fatty fish, egg yolks, or mushrooms, a complex carbohydrate for sustained energy, sweet potatoes, brown rice, or quinoa, healthy fats for vitamin D absorption, olive oil, avocado, or grass-fed butter, colorful vegetables for minerals and fiber. With this meal, take your 2,000 to 4,000 IU of vitamin D3. Remember, it must be taken with fats to be absorbed properly. Step 2. The post-dinner window, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. 2 hours after your meal, take 15 to 30 milligrams of zinc with a full glass of water. Not with food, just water. This ensures it doesn't compete with other minerals for absorption and that it peaks in your bloodstream right when you need it most. Step 3. The wind down ritual, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. This is your sacred hour of preparation. No screens. No caffeine. No stimulation. Your goal is to signal to your body that it's time to shift into repair mode. This is when you might take a warm bath with Epsom salts. The magnesium here is great for relaxation, just not for muscle building. Practice gentle stretching or meditation. Read a physical book under soft lighting. Journal about your day. This wind down ritual is not optional. It's the bridge between your active day and your restorative night. Step 4. The sleep sanctuary, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Your bedroom should be cool, 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, completely dark and quiet. These conditions optimize growth hormone release. Even small amounts of light can suppress melatonin and fragment your deep sleep cycles. During these 8 hours, your body is working harder than it worked all day. Growth hormone floods your system. Repair enzymes activate. Amino acids shuttle into muscle cells. New tissue is synthesized. This is where the magic happens, but only if you've set the stage correctly. Step 5. The morning reset, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. When you wake, this is when you take your B-complex vitamins and your vitamin C. With breakfast. Not before bed. With your first meal of the day, you're now giving your body the energy and immune support it needs at the right time. This is also when you should assess how you feel. If you're waking up refreshed and noticing improvements in strength and energy over the coming weeks, you know the protocol is working. Now, I want to address something important. Some of you might be thinking, this sounds like a lot of work. But here's the truth, You're already taking supplements. You're already eating dinner. You're already going to bed. I'm not asking you to add more to your life. I'm asking you to rearrange what you're already doing so it actually works. The difference between struggling and thriving is often just a matter of timing. The transformation timeline. One of the most common questions I get is, how long before I see results? And I understand why people ask this. We live in a world of quick fixes and instant gratification. But muscle building, especially after 50, is a biological process that follows its own timeline. You can't rush it, but you can absolutely optimize it. Here's what you can realistically expect when you follow this nighttime protocol. Week 1. The sleep shift. The first thing you'll notice isn't muscle growth, it's better sleep. Within 3 to 7 days of removing evening B vitamins, vitamin C, and caffeine from your routine, and adding vitamin D3 and zinc at the right times, your sleep quality will improve dramatically. You'll fall asleep faster. You'll wake up less during the night. And most importantly, you'll wake up feeling more refreshed than you have in years. This is the foundation. This is proof that your body is entering those deep repair phases. Week 2 to 3, the recovery revolution. Around the second week, you'll start noticing something remarkable. You're not as sore anymore. Activities that used to leave you stiff for days now have minimal impact. You're bouncing back faster. This is because your nighttime repair mechanisms are finally functioning properly. Your muscles are being rebuilt overnight instead of remaining in a state of chronic inflammation and breakdown. Week 4 to 6, the strength emergence. By the 4th week, you'll start feeling stronger. Not dramatically stronger, but noticeably so. Lifting grocery bags feels easier. Getting up from a chair requires less effort. You have more stamina when walking. This is when actual muscle tissue is beginning to accumulate. Your body has finally shifted from a state of slow decline to a state of steady building. Week 8 to 12, the visible transformation. Between 2 and 3 months, the changes become visible. Clothes fit differently. Your posture improves. Other people start commenting that you look healthier, stronger, younger. This is when patients tell me they feel like they've turned back the clock by 10 years. But here's what's critical to understand. This timeline only works if you're consistent. Missing a night here and there won't destroy your progress, but consistency is what compounds these small daily improvements into major long-term transformation. One of my patients, a 72-year-old man named George, followed this protocol religiously for 12 weeks. When we did his body composition analysis at the end, he had gained 4.2 pounds of lean muscle mass while losing 6 pounds of fat. His grip strength increased by 23%. His walking speed improved by 18%. But what he told me was more powerful than any number. "Doctor, I feel like myself again. I feel capable. I feel strong." That's what this is really about. Not vanity. Not aesthetics. Capability. Independence. Dignity. The hidden obstacles. Now, I need to be honest with you about something. Even with perfect supplementation timing, some people still struggle to build muscle at night. And it's usually because of hidden obstacles they don't even know they have. Let me share the most common ones I see in my practice. Hidden obstacle number 1. Undiagnosed sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a condition where you stop breathing multiple times throughout the night. Each time you stop breathing, your body jolts awake, even if you don't consciously remember it. This prevents you from ever entering deep sleep, which means growth hormone never gets released properly. The signs of sleep apnea include loud snoring, waking up gasping, morning headaches, and extreme daytime fatigue despite sleeping 7 to 8 hours. If this sounds like you, talk to your doctor about a sleep study. Treating sleep apnea can be the single most powerful thing you do for muscle growth. Hidden obstacle number 2, chronic stress and elevated cortisol. If you're living in a state of chronic stress, financial worries, relationship problems, constant anxiety, your cortisol levels remain elevated all day and night. No amount of supplement timing can overcome chronically high cortisol. This is why stress management isn't optional. Meditation, deep breathing, nature walks, social connection, these aren't luxuries. They're biological necessities for muscle growth. Hidden obstacle number 3, insufficient protein intake. All the vitamin D3 and zinc in the world can't build muscle if you're not eating enough protein. For muscle building after 50, you need approximately 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily. That means a 150-pound person needs 75 to 105 grams of protein per day, spread across 3 meals. That's roughly 25 to 35 grams per meal. If you're not hitting these numbers, your nighttime repair process has nothing to work with. Hidden obstacle number 4. Medications that interfere. Certain common medications can interfere with muscle building. Statins, some blood pressure medications, and proton pump inhibitors for acid reflux can all reduce your body's ability to synthesize muscle protein. I'm not telling you to stop your medications. Never do that without talking to your doctor. But I am telling you to be aware of these effects and to work with your healthcare provider to minimize them where possible. Hidden obstacle number 5. Dehydration. Water is the most overlooked element in muscle building. Your muscles are 75% water. Every enzymatic reaction, every protein synthesis process, every mineral transport system requires adequate hydration. Most people over 50 are chronically dehydrated without realizing it. The thirst mechanism becomes less sensitive with age. By the time you feel thirsty, you're already significantly dehydrated. Aim for at least 8 glasses of water throughout the day, with the last full glass being 2 to 3 hours before bed so you're not waking up multiple times to use the bathroom. The synergy principle. Here's something fascinating that I need you to understand. Vitamin D3 and zinc don't just work independently. They work synergistically. That means their combined effect is greater than the sum of their individual effects. Let me show you what I mean. When you take vitamin D3 at night, it opens those VDR receptors on your muscle cells. But for those receptors to remain open and functioning optimally, they need zinc. Zinc stabilizes the receptor structure and enhances its sensitivity to vitamin D. At the same time, zinc activates enzymes that help convert vitamin D into its most active form in your body. So vitamin D makes zinc work better, and zinc makes vitamin D work better. This is called biological synergy, and it's why taking both together produces results that neither could achieve alone. But there's another layer of synergy that's equally important, the synergy between supplementation and lifestyle. You can take all the right supplements at all the right times, but if you're only sleeping 4 hours a night, eating processed foods, and living in chronic stress, those supplements can't overcome that foundation of dysfunction. Conversely, if you're sleeping well, managing stress, and eating whole foods, but you're missing these critical nutrients at the right times, you're leaving massive gains on the table. The magic happens when you get both right. Optimal nutrition at optimal times, combined with optimal lifestyle practices. This is what I call the synergy principle. Everything works better when everything works together. Let me give you a practical example of what this looks like in real life. One of my patients, Maria, was 68 years old and had been struggling with weakness for years. She came to me frustrated because she was doing everything right, or so she thought. When we examined her routine, I found she was taking good supplements, but at the wrong times. She was eating healthy foods, but not enough protein. She was exercising but not recovering properly. We made 5 simple changes. 1. Moved her B complex and vitamin C to breakfast. 2. Added vitamin D3 with dinner. 3. Added zinc 2 hours before bed. 4. Increased her protein intake by 20 grams per day. 5. Implemented a consistent bedtime routine to improve sleep quality. She didn't change everything about her life. She just optimized what she was already doing. 3 months later, Maria had gained 3.5 pounds of muscle, her bone density had improved, and she told me she felt 10 years younger. But what struck me most was what she said during her follow-up appointment. "Doctor, I finally understand. It's not about doing more. It's about doing the right things at the right time." Exactly. The food foundation. Now, while supplements are powerful tools, they are just that, supplements. They supplement a foundation. They don't replace it. So let's talk about the foods that naturally support nighttime muscle building, because getting this right can amplify everything we've discussed. The evening protein strategy. Your evening meal should contain 25 to 40 grams of high-quality protein. But not all proteins are created equal for nighttime muscle building. The best evening proteins are those that digest slowly, providing a steady stream of amino acids to your muscles throughout the night. These include wild-caught fatty fish, salmon, mackerel, sardines, rich in protein, vitamin D, and omega-3 grass-fed beef, contains creatine and zinc, naturally pasture-raised eggs, complete amino acid profile with vitamin D in the yolk, Greek yogurt, slow-digesting casein protein, cottage cheese, another excellent source of casein. The mineral-rich sides. Your evening vegetables should be chosen specifically for their mineral content. Spinach and Swiss chard, rich in magnesium and iron, pumpkin seeds, packed with zinc, mushrooms, one of the few plant sources of vitamin D, sweet potatoes, provide complex carbs for sustained energy and vitamin A for immune function. Broccoli contains compounds that support testosterone production. The healthy fat requirement. Remember, vitamin D3 is fat-soluble. Your evening meal must contain healthy fats. Extra virgin olive oil, avocado, grass-fed butter, or ghee, coconut oil, nuts and seeds, in moderation. Sample evening meals for muscle building. Let me give you 3 complete evening meals that put all of this together. Meal option 1. The Mediterranean Builder. 5 ounces grilled salmon with lemon and dill, roasted vegetables, zucchini, bell peppers, mushrooms, with olive oil, small sweet potato with grass-fed butter, side salad with pumpkin seeds. Take vitamin D3 with this meal. Meal option 2. The Classic Strength Plate. 6 ounces grass-fed beef burger, no bun, or on a whole grain bun. Sautéed spinach with garlic, mashed cauliflower with butter, roasted Brussels sprouts. Take vitamin D3 with this meal. Meal option 3. The Easy Comfort Option. 3 egg omelet with cheese and vegetables, side of roasted mushroom, small portion of brown rice, sliced avocado. Take vitamin D3 with this meal. The key is consistency. You don't need to eat perfectly every night, but aim for 5 to 6 nights per week where you're hitting these nutritional targets. The age factor. I need to address something that's probably on your mind. Does age matter? Am I too old for this to work? The short answer is no. You're not too old. But age does affect how your body responds, and understanding these differences will help you set realistic expectations. In your 50s, your body still produces a reasonable amount of growth hormone, though it's declining. Your digestive system is generally still efficient at absorbing nutrients. The main challenge at this age is usually lifestyle, stress, poor sleep habits, and suboptimal supplement timing. When people in their 50s follow this protocol, they often see results quickly. Within 4 to 6 weeks, significant improvements in strength and muscle mass are common. In your 60s. By your 60s, growth hormone production has dropped to about 60% of what it was in your 20s. Your body's ability to synthesize protein from amino acids is reduced by about 30%. Stomach acid production decreases, which can affect nutrient absorption. This means you need to be even more precise with your supplementation timing and potentially need higher doses of vitamin D3 and zinc. Results may take 8 to 10 weeks to become noticeable, but they're absolutely achievable. In your 70s and beyond. In your 70s, 80s, and beyond, your body faces even greater challenges. Growth hormone production is down to about 30 to 40% of youthful levels. Digestive efficiency is reduced. You may be on medications that interfere with muscle building. But here's what's remarkable. Even at this age, your muscles retain the ability to grow. They retain the capacity to strengthen. It just requires more strategic intervention. For people in this age group, I often recommend higher doses of vitamin D3, 3,000 to 4,000 IU, consistent zinc supplementation, 20 to 30 milligrams, potentially adding digestive enzymes to improve protein absorption, more attention to sleep quality. Patients. Results may take 10 to 12 weeks. I've had patients in their 80s gain significant muscle mass using this protocol. It's never too late. The key is this: your body's capacity for growth may be reduced compared to your youth, but it's not eliminated. And with the right strategy, you can still build meaningful strength at any age. The truth about exercise. Now, I know some of you are wondering, what about exercise? Don't I need to lift weights? The answer is yes, eventually. But here's what most people get wrong. They try to build muscle through exercise when their body isn't capable of recovery. It's like trying to build a house faster by adding more workers when you haven't delivered enough building materials. Exercise creates the stimulus for muscle growth. It creates the damage, the signal, the need. But it doesn't create the actual growth. That happens during recovery, powered by sleep and nutrition. So here's my recommendation. If you're currently not exercising at all, start by implementing this nighttime protocol first. Get your sleep right. Get your supplementation timing right. Give your body 2 to 4 weeks to establish a proper recovery foundation. Then, gradually introduce resistance training. And I'm not talking about intense bodybuilding workouts. For most people over 50, the ideal exercise program looks like this. 2 to 3 days per week. 20 to 30 minutes of resistance training focus on major muscle groups, legs, back, chest, shoulders. Use weights that challenge you for 8 to 12 repetitions. Rest at least 1 day between sessions. 2 to 3 days per week. 20 to 30 minutes of walking or gentle cardio. This promotes circulation and recovery without creating excessive stress. Daily. 5 to 10 minutes of stretching or mobility work. This maintains flexibility and reduces injury risk. The exercise itself is simple. What makes it effective is what happens after. The nighttime recovery protocol we've been discussing. When you combine strategic resistance training with optimized nighttime muscle building, that's when transformation happens. But remember, the exercise is only 30% of the equation. The other 70%, the recovery, the sleep, the supplementation timing, that's where most people fail. Don't make that mistake. The measurement strategy. One of the most important things you can do when starting this protocol is measure your progress properly. Not obsessively, but strategically. Because what gets measured gets improved. Here are the key metrics you should track. Metric 1. Sleep quality. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate your sleep quality each morning. How long it took you to fall asleep, how many times you woke up during the night, how refreshed you felt upon waking. You should see this number improve within the first week. Metric 2. Recovery speed. How sore are you after activity? How long does that soreness last? This is a powerful indicator of how well your nighttime repair is functioning. You should notice faster recovery within 2 to 3 weeks. Metric 3. Functional strength. Don't worry about how much you can bench press. Track real-world strength. How many times can you stand up from a chair without using your hands? How long can you hold a plank position? What's your walking speed over 50 feet? What's your grip strength? You can buy a simple grip dynamometer online. Test these monthly and watch them improve. Metric 4. Body composition. Weight alone is misleading because muscle weighs more than fat. If you're building muscle and losing fat, the scale might barely move. Instead, track how your clothes fit, measurements of your arms, legs, and waist, photos from the same angle in the same lighting every 4 weeks. Metric 5. Energy and mood. This is subjective but important. On a scale of 1 to 10, how energetic do you feel throughout the day? How's your mental clarity? How's your mood and motivation? Muscle building isn't just physical. It has profound effects on your mental and emotional well-being. Keep a simple journal or spreadsheet. Review it monthly. Celebrate the improvements, no matter how small. Because small improvements, accumulated over time, create dramatic transformation. The common mistakes. Before we wrap up, I need to warn you about the most common mistakes I see people make when implementing this protocol. Avoid these and you'll succeed. Fall into these traps and you'll struggle. Mistake 1. Impatience. People want results yesterday. They follow the protocol for 2 weeks, don't see dramatic changes, and quit. Remember, meaningful muscle building takes 8 to 12 weeks minimum. Trust the process. Mistake 2. All or nothing thinking. Life happens. You'll have nights when you eat dinner late. Nights when you forget to take your zinc. Nights when you sleep poorly. This doesn't ruin everything. What matters is consistency over time, not perfection. Mistake 3. Supplement hopping. People read about a new, miracle supplement and abandon this protocol to try it. Stay the course. Give this strategy a full 12 weeks before you consider adding anything else. Mistake 4. Ignoring sleep quality. You can take all the right supplements at all the right times, but if you're only sleeping 4 to 5 hours or your sleep is fragmented, you won't build muscle. Sleep is non-negotiable. Mistake 5. Inadequate protein. I can't stress this enough. You need 0.5 to 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight daily. If you're not hitting this number, your body has nothing to build with. Mistake 6. Overtraining. More exercise is not better. If you're working out intensely 6 to 7 days per week, you're not giving your body time to recover and build. Rest days are when growth happens. Mistake 7. Neglecting hydration. Drink water consistently throughout the day. Dehydration silently undermines every aspect of muscle building. Mistake 8. Midnight snacking. Going to bed with a full stomach disrupts sleep quality and interferes with growth hormone release. Your last meal should be 3 to 4 hours before bed. Avoid these mistakes, and you're already ahead of 90% of people trying to build muscle after 50. Part 17. The Long-Term Vision, 82:30-87:00. I want to share something with you that goes beyond muscles, beyond strength, beyond physical appearance. What we're really talking about here is the quality of the rest of your life. Every pound of muscle you build isn't just about looking better. It's about being able to play with your grandchildren without pain or fatigue, carrying your own groceries without assistance, maintaining your independence as you age, reducing your risk of falls and fractures, protecting your metabolic health and preventing diabetes, maintaining cognitive function. Muscle health is directly linked to brain health, living with dignity and capability. Muscle is more than tissue. It's your biological armor against the frailty that so many people accept as inevitable with aging. But here's what I need you to understand. This isn't a 12-week project. This is a lifestyle shift. This is a permanent upgrade to how you support your body. The supplements we've discussed? They're not something you do for 3 months and then stop. They're foundational practices that should become as routine as brushing your teeth. The sleep hygiene we've discussed? Not a temporary experiment, but a permanent commitment to your recovery. The food choices we've covered? Not a diet with an end date, but a sustainable way of nourishing your body for the long term. When you embrace this long-term vision, something profound happens. You stop thinking of yourself as someone who's getting old, and start seeing yourself as someone who's actively building strength, vitality, and resilience. I've seen this mindset shift transform people's lives. They walk differently. They speak differently. They engage with life differently. Because when you feel strong, you become strong. Not just physically, but in every dimension of your life. Your starting line. We've covered an enormous amount of information today. And I know it might feel overwhelming. But I want to simplify this for you. You don't need to implement everything perfectly starting tonight. What you need is to take one meaningful step. So here's what I'm asking you to do. Just one thing. Choose the single most impactful change you can make tonight, and commit to it. Maybe it's moving your B-complex vitamins to the breakfast table right now. Maybe it's ordering a vitamin D3 supplement so you have it for tomorrow evening's dinner. Maybe it's setting an alarm for 2 hours before bed to remind you to take zinc. Maybe it's committing to turning off all screens at 9 p.m. to improve your sleep quality. Maybe it's planning tomorrow's dinner to include that salmon, sweet potato, and roasted vegetables we talked about. One change. One commitment. That's your starting line. And then once that one change becomes automatic, once it's woven into your routine and requires no conscious effort, you add the next one. This is how sustainable transformation happens. Not through massive overhauls that last 3 days, but through small, strategic changes that compound over time. Now, I want you to do something for me, and more importantly, for yourself. In the comments below, tell me the one change you're committing to starting tonight. Not 3 changes. Not 5. Just one. Be specific. Make it real. When you write it down and share it publicly, something powerful happens in your brain. You've made a commitment. You've put it out into the world. And that makes you far more likely to follow through. So pause the video right now and comment. "Oh wait, I'm serious." Do it now. Because this simple act of declaring your intention is the difference between being someone who consumed information and someone who takes action. Alright, welcome back. If you've commented, you've just taken the first step toward reclaiming your strength. And I'm genuinely proud of you for that. The community principle. Before we close, I want to talk about something that often gets overlooked in health conversations: the power of community. Transformation is easier when you're not doing it alone. When you have others who understand what you're going through. When you can share victories, troubleshoot challenges, and encourage each other on difficult days. That's why I'm not just sharing this information with you. I'm inviting you into a community. In the comments of this video, you'll find hundreds, maybe thousands of people who are on the same journey. People who are facing the same challenges. People who are celebrating the same victories. Read through those comments. Respond to others. Share your experiences. Ask questions. Offer encouragement. When someone shares that they've moved their B vitamins to the morning, congratulate them. When someone asks about dosages, help them if you know the answer. When someone shares a success story, celebrate it like it's your own. Because in a very real sense, we're all in this together. Age-related muscle loss isn't something you face alone. It's a universal human experience. But so is the triumph of reclaiming that strength. And that triumph is sweeter when it's shared. I also want to encourage you to share this information beyond this video. If you have friends or family members who are struggling with weakness, fatigue, or unexplained muscle loss, send them this video. You might literally change their life. Don't gatekeep this information. Spread it. Because the more people who understand these principles, the more people who can age with strength, dignity, and independence. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to this channel and hit that notification bell. Because I'm releasing new videos every week that dive deeper into specific aspects of healthy aging, muscle building, and longevity. Coming up, I have videos on the exact exercise routines that complement this nighttime protocol, how to adjust this strategy if you're on common medications, the meal prep strategies that make this sustainable advanced protocols for people who want to maximize their results. You don't want to miss any of this. The truth about aging. I want to end with something personal. I've been a physician for over 25 years. I've worked with thousands of patients. And one thing I've observed again and again is this. Most people accept decline as inevitable. They feel themselves getting weaker and think, well, I'm getting older. This is just how it is. They struggle with tasks that used to be easy and think, my body is wearing out. Nothing I can do. They lose their independence bit by bit and think, this is just what happens when you age. But here's what I've learned through decades of practice and research. Decline is common, but it's not inevitable. Yes, your body changes as you age. Your growth hormone production decreases. Your protein synthesis becomes less efficient. Your recovery takes longer. But these changes can be managed, optimized, and in many cases, partially reversed. The difference between people who age with strength and vitality and people who age with frailty and dependence often comes down to knowledge and application. The information you've learned today about vitamin D3, zinc, supplement timing, sleep optimization, this isn't cutting-edge, experimental science. This is established, proven, reproducible biology. The question isn't whether it works. The question is whether you'll apply it. And that's entirely in your control. You can't control the calendar. You can't stop time. But you can absolutely control how you support your body's natural repair and building processes. You can choose strength over frailty, capability over dependence, vitality over resignation. That choice starts tonight. With one supplement moved to the right time. With one meal planned strategically. With one commitment to better sleep. And that choice continues tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Not perfectly. Not without setbacks. But consistently. Persistently. With the understanding that small actions repeated over time create extraordinary results. You made it to the end. And that tells me something important about you. You're serious about this. You're not looking for quick fixes or magic pills. You're looking for real solutions based on real science. And that's exactly what I've given you today. Let me summarize the core principles one final time so they're crystal clear. The 2 nighttime heroes. 1. Vitamin D3, 2,000 to 4,000 IU with your evening meal. 2. Zinc, 15 to 30 milligrams, 2 hours before bed. The 3 evening villains to avoid. 1. B-complex vitamins, move to morning. 2. Vitamin C, move to morning. 3. Caffeine, none after lunch. The foundation. 8 hours of quality sleep in a dark, cool room. 0.5-0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Daily consistent meal timing. Dinner 3 to 4 hours before bed. Strategic resistance training 2 to 3 times per week. Adequate hydration throughout the day. That's it. That's the entire protocol. Simple but powerful. Now, I promised you 3 calls to action in this video, and here's the final one. If this information has been valuable to you, if you feel like you've just learned something that could genuinely change your life, hit that subscribe button right now. Because this is just the beginning. I have so much more to share with you about building strength, optimizing health, and aging with vitality. And I don't want you to miss a single video. Subscribe now, and let's continue this journey together. Remember, you are so much stronger than you think. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal and build, if you just give it the right tools at the right time. Your journey to reclaim your vitality doesn't start tomorrow. It doesn't start next week when you're ready. It starts right now. Tonight. With one simple change. Make that change. Comment below what it is. Join this community. And let's walk this path together. I'll see you in the next video, where I'm revealing a scientifically proven method to increase leg muscle activation by 34% without any exercise whatsoever. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, take care of yourself. Honor your body. And remember, the best years of your life can still be ahead of you. You've got this.